Hello beautiful people, happy Saturday, happy new lunar year, and welcome to your astrological forecast for the upcoming week. I'm recording this under the influence of Moon still in the sign of Pisces. Venus just made a conjunction to Neptune, and Venus is going to conjunct North Node few hours from now, and also Moon is going to conjunct all of them, Neptune, North Node and Venus today prior to moving to the sign of Aries. So today is a packed day, so why not record this video? It is going to premiere tomorrow, so probably by the time you're watching this it's already Sunday and Moon is already in the sign of Aries, which of course is perfect because new cycle, new direction, and this is all the digestion of the energies of this recent new moon in Aquarius, which was the first new moon of 2025, and of course the beginning of the new lunar year, the year of the wood snake, and those are the energies we will be digesting for the next 6 to 12 months, because in 6 months time we'll have the full moon in Aquarius, and of course the new moon in Aquarius will take place next year, and also the Chinese year will reset as well. So anyway, so this is quite a long intro, but let's just say this is my first astrological forecast in like 2 weeks because I was pre-recording everything prior to my time off, so I'm just getting into the gist of things. So yeah, well, but before I start going any further, or before I go any further, let's just open this space and invite my higher self, my spirit guides, angelic team, ascended master, started family, also my astrological team, first and foremost, of course, and all the beings of light that wish to be present. So let's see who will come through and who will want to share information with regards to these crazy energies we are experiencing. So yeah, today is, apart from everything else, February 1st. So let's welcome the new month in, and as I already mentioned, we have a loaded day. Moon is on a final decan of Pisces, which of course it's Scorpio decan. Venus already made a conjunction Neptune at the time and I'm recording this. Venus is about to make a conjunction to North Node few hours from now, and this is the first one of 3, so that's an important thing to mention, because Venus is already in her shadow preparing for her retrograde, which will begin on March 1st. All of these conjunctions, including Venus conjunct Saturn, which already took place, will take place 3 times. So this is the first one between Venus and Neptune. The second one will take place on 27th of March, which is right before the eclipse in Aries. That will take place on the 29th. And the third and final one will be on 2nd of May. That will be already happening in the sign of Aries on 1 degree 9 minutes. The second one is still in the sign of Pisces. And also Venus conjunct North Node. The second one will take place on April 1st, which is right after Neptune will have moved into the sign of Aries. And the third and the final will be on April 23rd, which is right before the new moon in Taurus. All right, what else we've going on here? So yeah, so today, later on today, Saturday, the 1st of February, Moon will be moving to the sign of Aries, and this is how we end this week and enter into a new one. So new cycles, resetting of our identity, and oh yeah, let's just mention, prior to Moon moving into the sign of Aries, of course, is going to conjunct Neptune, North Node, and Venus in the sign of Pisces. So as I mentioned, the result of activation to Pisces energy this, well, today and this weekend, because of course this will be impacting us going into the new week as well. And this is all about what are we leaving behind and what are we welcoming in to replace this energy. And of course this is all in alignment with this Aquarius new moon which we are digesting, and the new lunar year which we entered into, which is the year of the snake. So of course there will be a lot of shedding of the skin, again perfectly in alignment with the North Node being in the sign of Pisces. What are we releasing, leaving behind in order for the new energy to come in? Okay, then Sunday, Moon will be doing her thing, transiting through the sign of Aries, and this is how we will enter a new week with Moon in the sign of Aries, Monday the 3rd. And on Monday the 3rd, we'll be experiencing Mercury making a trine to Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. So the last conjunction between the two of them happened on June 4th, 2024, 2 degrees 30 minutes of Gemini, and their next conjunction will take place on June 8th, and it will take place on 29 degrees and 46 minutes of Gemini still, and subsequently after that both will move into the sign of Cancer. Okay, so already also on Monday the 3rd, we'll be experiencing the second square between Mars retrograding Cancer and Chiron in Aries, ruled by Mars at the moment, 19 degrees 36 minutes. Still this degree of the eclipse of last year's Aries eclipse, solar eclipse in Aries 2024, is being reactivated, this 19 degrees. It's very interesting because, of course, number 19 adds up to number 10. That's the year we're going to be having next year. And also is the Sun card in Tarot, which is all about creation, right? And of course, next year in 2026, we'll have the North Node moving into the sign of Aquarius, South Node into the sign of Leo. So, okay, so just to remind ourselves, the first square between Mars and Chiron took place on October 13th, which was right before the full moon in Aries. And the third and the final one will take place on March 26th, which is once again right before the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, the final one for this cycle. Subsequently, after that, on Monday the 3rd, Moon will move into the Taurus, onto the sign of Taurus to help us ground these energies. Moon in the sign of Taurus is in exaltation, so it will help us to reconnect with our physical body and all the sensory experience to integrate these energies of Mercury trying to, and of course, this post Venus conjunct Neptune, Venus conjunct North Node, Mercury trine Jupiter. So this is all about breaking free from the outdated patterns because Mercury is in the sign of Aquarius. Jupiter is still ruled by Mercury, so they are impacting one another. And Jupiter is just about to station direct, which will actually take place the following day. So Tuesday the 4th, Venus will move into the sign of Aries for the first time because, as I already mentioned, Venus is preparing for her retrograde, which will begin on Mars. It will begin, I'm not sure if on Mars, but it will happen on March the 1st. And Venus will then retrograde back into the sign of Pisces on March 27th and re-enter Aries on April 30th. So this is the first ingress into the sign of Aries, which is taking place on February the 4th until March 27th. And then Jupiter is stationed in direct 11 degrees and 17 minutes. Jupiter of Gemini. Jupiter was retrograde or has been retrograde since October 9th, 2024, which was right after the final solar eclipse, new moon in Libra, which we had in October 2nd. So Jupiter stationed retrograde on 21 degrees and 20 minutes of Gemini, and gone all the way back to 11 degrees 7 minutes, which is the Libra decan of Gemini, stationed retrograde on Aquarius decan. Interesting, we are in Aquarius season right here, right now. And and the number 11 and 7 adds up to number 18, which adds up to number 9, and that's the year we are at. So what are we letting go of? The story is the old way of identifying reality, which is stuck on this old program, right? So anyway, so we had plenty of time to digest all of this since October, and now we're moving forward and we have the opportunity to create new stories, especially post this Mercury trine to Jupiter, because Mercury is in Aquarius. Okay, then what else is going on? Wednesday, Moon is traveling through the sign of Taurus. The first aspect, of course, that Moon is making from the sign of Taurus will be on Tuesday, square to Pluto. And then on Thursday the 6th, Moon will move into the sign of Gemini. Actually, for some people, it will be still Wednesday night, depending where you are in the world. For me here in Central Time Zone, it will be already Thursday. And then on the same day, we have Ceres squaring Uranus, okay? And then once again, either Thursday night, Friday morning, depending where you are in the world. For me, it's Friday the 7th. A North Node will conjunct Neptune. Okay, and this is resetting the cycle that began between North Node and Neptune in 2008, which is the last time they had a conjunction, and that was on May 4th, 2008, and it took place in Aquarius, 24 degrees and 7 minutes of Aquarius, and then after that, Neptune conjunct South Node in November 17th, 2016, in Pisces, 9 degrees, 15 minutes. Now we have in this conjunction North Node and Neptune in the sign of Pisces on 28 degrees and 9 minutes. So that's 10 and 9. We are in the year 9. Next year is the year 10. And then the next conjunction between Neptune and South Node will take place in 2033 in the sign of Aries, 19 degrees. Again, the 19 degrees. This is where we are experiencing this square between Mars and Chiron this week, second one. And like I said, this is reactivation of the point of the eclipse that we experienced last April which was in conjunction with Chiron, of course. That Chiron was a very active participant. It was bang on. And and the next conjunction between Neptune and North Node then will take place in 2041, and that will be in the sign of Taurus. So we are resetting the cycle that began between Neptune and North Node in the sign of Aquarius in 2008, which of course we might remember is the year when Pluto entered into Capricorn, and this cycle will then once again reset in 2041 in the sign of Taurus. So this time, so in 2008, we were going to be breaking free. Now we are releasing, letting go. And in Taurus, we will be setting the new foundation 2041. By that point, Pluto will be almost done with the sign of Aquarius. All right, so that's the Thursday night, Friday morning, North Node conjunct in Neptune, very important energy because, of course, currently North Node is ruled by Neptune in the sign of Pisces, 28 degrees, 9 minutes, and this is resetting everything that was and creating space for everything that will be, because Pisces is a totality, is the source. And after that, on Friday the 7th, Venus is making a first sextile to Pluto. This is a first sextile since their conjunction, which took place on December 7th, 2024. That was the second one in Aquarius. We already had the first one in Aquarius in February last year. And this is the first one of the 3 sextiles, because as I already mentioned, Venus is getting ready to go retrograde. So Venus will sextile Pluto 2 more times. The first time, second time, because this is the first time. Second time will be on March 21st, which is in between the eclipses. And the third and the final one will be on May 6th. May 6th. All right. What else we've got going on this week? So this is Friday. Yes, North Node conjunct Neptune, Venus sextile Pluto. Venus is in a sign of Aries. Pluto, of course, in a sign of Aquarius, 2 degrees, 16 minutes. And this is the first sextile. So yeah, this is an initiation, especially as Venus is traveling from, just about to move into Aries on Tuesday. Venus is moving from Pisces to Aries, Aries to Pisces, and then from Pisces back to Aries in April. Venus will station direct, actually, was it April or was it May? Let me have a look again. She will be moving back into Aries, what did I say, 23rd of April? Yes. Okay, so yes, she will re-enter Aries again in April. So this is very interesting. That will be already Taurus season, by the way, yes. So this is very interesting because, of course, Venus was the ruler of the South Node for the past year and a half before January 11th. And prior to that, Venus was the ruler of the North Node. So now Venus is resetting. She's going forward, backward, Aries, Pisces. So again, she's bringing the initiation of the new relational pattern, and at the same time making sure that we understand the meaning of the old one and having the opportunity to choose what are we keeping, what are we letting go of. So yeah, first sextile between Venus in Aries and Pluto in Aquarius, Saturday the 8th or still Friday the 7th, depending where you are in the world. Sun is making a sextile to Chiron. And once again, a reminder, the last conjunction between Sun and Chiron took place on the day of the last solar eclipse in Aries on April 8, 2024, and it took place on 19 degrees and some change, which is the point we are getting reactivating this week, so there is a lot of that. And the next conjunction between Sun and Chiron will take place on April 12, which is exactly on the day of the full moon in Libra, which is not an eclipse. Also on Saturday the 8th, Mercury is making, prior to that, Moon will be moving into the sign of Cancer. So we have Sun sextile to Chiron, Moon moving into the sign of Cancer, which is the sign of her rulership. So it makes us very intuitive and connected to our emotion. And then after that, Mercury in Aquarius will be making a sextile to Chiron, again, the 19 degrees point. And this is preparation for the next conjunction. The last conjunction and the next conjunction are happening exactly on the same day. Last year, the last conjunction between Mercury and Chiron, we know that Mercury and Chiron had 3 conjunction in 2024 because Mercury was retrograde in Aries. So they had conjunctions throughout March, April, May, I believe, but the last one was on May 6th, which was, I believe, right before the new moon in Taurus. And this year, the conjunction between Mercury and Chiron will take place again on May the 6th. Last time it was on Actually, I don't think, oh, 24 degrees, 25 minutes, and this year is 21 degrees. Oh, no, last year it was 21 degrees, 2 minutes, and this year is 24 degrees, 25 minutes. So either way, it is the final decan of Aries, which is Sagittarius. And currently, Mercury is the ruler of Jupiter, the rule of Sagittarius. So once again, this is all supporting us in creation of the new story. Mercury is in the sign of Aquarius, breaking free from the old program and the old way of identifying reality. Okie doke, then Sunday the 9th, Mercury is making a conjunction to Sun in the sign of Aquarius, 21 degrees, which again I find fascinating because of course the 21 is the world card in Tarot, which is the completion. This is happening in the sign of Aquarius, and 2 and 1 makes 3, which is the creation, is the Empress, which is the Mother Earth, the Gaia, and is also the Jupiter card, which is the expansion. Again, Mercury is the current ruler of Jupiter. None of this is getting lost on us, these synchronicities. So Mercury conjuncting Sun, Sunday the 9th, again, the day of the Sun, the 9th, we are in the year number 9, and we are in the month 2 and 9 adds to 11, right? Master number frequency. Can't make this stuff up, obviously. And Mercury conjunct Sun, we have the Kazimi, which is the reset, the rebirth for Mercury. The last time Mercury and Sun had a conjunction was on December 6th. Mercury was retrograde at the time in the sign of Sagittarius. So we switching from the fire signs to the air signs for the conjunctions between Sun and Mercury. So yeah, we are taking it into the ether. And then right after that, Mars retrograde in Cancer, it's making his second trine to Saturn. They already had a trine on September 30th, 2024, which was again 2 days before the new moon solar eclipse in Libra, the last one, which we experienced on October 2nd. And the third and the final trine between Mars and Saturn will take place on 4-4 portal, which last year 4-4 portal was the day when Sun conjuncted North Node in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. So again, nothing is getting lost on me over here. And the trine is Cancer to Pisces. Cancer to Pisces, so that's the first trine, Leo frequency, Leo quality, which is all about creation. So what are we creating? We are creating a new sense of who we are, becoming our own authority, embodying the inner authority, because this is a trine to Saturn. Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, ruled by Neptune. Neptune is having the reset with the North Node. It is all about co-creation with the spirit. And this is how we end in the week with Moon in the sign of Cancer. Actually, the last aspect Moon is going to make before we enter into new week will be a sextile to Uranus, already direct, of course, now. So actually, technically, apart from Mars, by the end of the week, everybody will be direct, because Jupiter is stationing direct this week. Uranus is already direct, so it's only Mars, and then of course we'll have Venus stationing retrograde at the beginning of March. So I think we'll have like a 1 week of no retrogrades, and that's it. We're going back to retrograde from March 1st. Okay, and then of course we enter into the new week, and we'll cover that next time, and that will be a build up towards, well, this is already a build up towards the full moon in Leo, but that will be then leading us towards the full moon in Leo, which will take place on February 12th. All right, so let's see what we can get out of these energies that we are playing with this first full week of February, as the integration and digestion of the new moon in Aquarius that happening alongside with this new lunar year kicking off, the year of the wood snake, which is all about shedding and releasing the layers. And it's just interesting, right, that we have this Venus North Node conjunction, which, as again I mentioned already, it's going to take place 3 times, and Neptune conjuncting the North Node, which is resetting a cycle that began in 2008 when Pluto just entered Capricorn. So this is just fascinating stuff over here. And like I said, literally all the aspects that are taking place, are supporting us in this breaking free from the old, facing the fear and do it anyway. Just stepping into our, embracing and reclaiming our courage, in a sense of bravery, in order to go and try, because you see, like with this new moon in Aquarius, which of course first new moon, not first lunation, first new moon for 2025, and the full moon will be right after the Lion's Gate on 9th of August, not 8/8, but 9th of August. And as I mentioned in my previous video with the new moon in Aquarius, the reset of this new moon will be at the eclipse, because next year the new moon in Aquarius will be actually an eclipse. So these are all very pivotal energies, and especially because we are in this year 9, which is all about culmination of the old, and the North Node is in the sign of Neptune, which is in a sense not giving us much choice, because North Node is the evolutionary potential, and obviously in this case we're talking about the human collective. And the one thing that's been really coming strongly for me is that we are switching our contracts, like this year, especially with the Saturn well, not fully ending Pisces, because we know Saturn and Neptune are going to retrograde back into Pisces, and Neptune is going to move back into Aries in January 2026, Saturn in February 2026. So we will end this year with Neptune and Saturn back in the sign of Pisces. However, we already have the first ingresses, 11/11, perfect. Neptune is entering the sign of Aries at the end of March, Saturn in May. So we already will have few months this year of this new energy. Also, Uranus entering Gemini in July. So we'll all, with the Aquarius full moon, we'll have all three of them in the new signs. So that is all preparing us for this new energy. So again, what I started saying was that this year is the year where we're switching from the old contracts, which were, like all these contracts that we have with one another, the role we came here to play, to clear up this karma, you did this to me, I did this to you, okay, let's switch the roles and let's just accommodate these roles that we play, like these energies, embody this energy and accommodate these opportunities for healing, learning, and letting go of the old, right? And then we can see already where we're going with that, with the North Node in Pisces. We are like, in a sense, stepping into a new contract, which is with the spirit, with your higher self. So you can see what's happening here, that we are releasing ourselves from the contracts we have with one another, but actually at the forefront of our new direction will be the contract we have with ourselves, with our own higher self, with the source, which, of course, everything is happening simultaneously. We still, in all of this is part of what we are experiencing now, but we are going to be moving from the past orientation, when we keep looking at the past and okay, what happened to ancestors, what happened in past lives, what happened before, and we're going to be focusing on the present moment. That is the only moment where anything can change, really, the past and the future, and we're going to start focusing more on the future, especially once the North Node moves into the sign of Aquarius in July 2026. So all of these aspects that are taking place as the after effects of this Aquarius new moon, right? They are just supporting us. Like, as I mentioned in my previous video, everything is just adding more layers, but the direction is very clear. We know where we're going, even though we don't understand necessarily or don't know the details of it, and especially because it's going to look different things to different people, because Aquarius is all about breaking the pattern. It's about the individuation, authenticity, and you becoming your own leader, right? Because we just had the North Node in Aries, and Mars currently is the retrograde in the sign of Cancer, so we need to let go, release these old identities that were always looking out to the Capricorn, this external authority, and we need to embody that. So anyway, so with the Aquarian age, it is not about replication. It is not about like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do what I always done or what somebody else always done. So this is what we're releasing. We are releasing ourselves from the past contracts, whether to our past identities, whether to one another, like whatever it was. And we're literally going to be here, right now, and start creating our future, our next moment consciously in co-creation with the spirit, with the quantum field, because after Capricorn, there is only Aquarius and Pisces, there is nothing else. Yes, everything encapsulates everything else, and the cycle will just always keep going. So it is not strictly truth, that there is nothing else, but the energy that we are now going to be learning, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, and then of course from 2043, 2044, Pluto in the sign of Pisces, it is releasing not like, that's not correct way to say it, attachment to the tangible, but our predominant orientation being on the manifested form, because the manifested form is the outcome of the past. So if our full focus is on the manifested form, which is the Capricorn, then we will always just be recreating the past. Whereas there is so much unmanifested, the majority of the energy is unmanifested, it's just the pure potential. And that is to our it's out there for grabbing, right? It's available to us, but we need to let go of this old way of interacting with reality, this old program, these old belief systems. And this is the year for it, the year 9. Now, we are in a lunar year of the snake. What is snake about? It's always about peeling off the skin, right? Like getting rid of the old skin so the new skin can like become the dominant skin, right? Like take over, take place, because we cannot have both, like, I mean, yeah, the new skin is under the old skin, but you're not gonna see it if the old skin is still in a place. So again, that makes perfect sense to me, and it's just so symbolic and so beautiful that we are in the year 9 with the North Node in Pisces, the cycle between Neptune and North Node, and of course, other planets, Venus in this case today, and North Node is resetting. But this is all about the culmination of the totality of what was before, because we are creating space for this new energy, which is already here, because Pluto is already in the sign of Aquarius. It's just all the other planets have to catch up a little bit, this Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, but still, like 3 planets moving in the same year. This is a crazy shift. And also Chiron is going to change signs next year, moving to the sign of Taurus. So this is a really crazy energy over here that we are preparing ourselves for, because this is not often when all these big planets are moving at the same time and technically in a sequence, right? Because next year is the Saturn, Neptune, Saturn, January, February, and then Uranus in April. So it's like one after the other. So this is a huge shift of energy, and this is the year where we are like I already mentioned previously, we are in a boot camp preparing for it. We are creating a new level of stamina so we can face these energies. And again, what are we doing? We are releasing ourselves, freeing ourselves from these old contracts to one another, and the roles we place, at who we were, and the roles we played for one another. And we are like, it's coming back to that 0 point, right? Because the year 10 is the reset point, and it's the 1 and 0. The 0 is the 0 point. The unlimited potential is the Fool card, right? The year 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, but it consists of the Fool and the Magician, because the 0 is the Fool and the 1 is the Magician. So we are getting ourselves back to the 0 point so we can become a conscious creators of our reality. And this is literally what we are being prepared for. And with this new moon in Aquarius, this is what got seeded. And with the year of the snake, this is what we're working on. Under the umbrella of the year 9, which is the Hermit, the Virgo, South Node in Virgo. What did we learn? What did we learn from everything that we've ever gone through, right? As in this lifetime, previous lifetime, ancestors, and human collective consciousness. What did we learn? That we now can decide. And Mercury being a sign of Aquarius this week, kicking off with the Mercury trine to Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. It is an introspective decisions, right? Introspective reevaluation of the stories. I know for me, I'm sure for a lot of other people, all this old stuff is coming up to the surface. The old belief system, everything that is limiting us and blocking us and not allowing us to fully embrace this new energy. Because if we keep saying that, oh yeah, I'm a divine being having a human experience, I'm an unlimited, extension of the source, and I have an access to everything, then why majority of humanity is not having that experience? Why we living in scarcity? Why we, for majority people, they not living the life of their dreams and stuff? Because there are all these programs, right, playing out from the subconscious that we need to become a conscious of and override. We need to create a new program, new neurological pathways that will become the new normal. But in order to know what are we working with, we have to become conscious of it. So especially with these energies that we're playing with this year, and I mean Tuesday, Jupiter station in direct, so it's going to be forward momentum from then on for, Jupiter and Mercury still being a sign of Aquarius, breaking the pattern, going beyond. Obviously this is happening while Mercury is already on a second decan, which is the Gemini, the choice. Mercury rules the Gemini, Venus is moving into Aries, Venus as the former ruler of the South Node, the one that was squared by Pluto throughout 2023. So we are creating a completely new way of living on this planet. And everything on this planet, as we already spoke about, is relational. So Venus going from Pisces to Aries, from Aries back to Pisces, and then back to Aries, and conjuncting Saturn, Neptune, and North Node 3 times in this process. This is very significant because it's literally helping us to start tuning into this new way of being, new way of relating, new way of interacting with reality based on the establishment of a new foundation that comes from the sense of worthiness. I deserve, I can, and I will, because I am the creator, right? She's conjuncted Saturn. Saturn is the manifested reality. Saturn is the authority. Saturn is that which we put out there on a pedestal somewhere and said like, hey, this is something that is in charge of me. Whether that's a person, whether that's a religion, whether that's a philosophy, doesn't matter what it is. But it was something that we externalize our power to. Neptune is the source, is all there is, right? So Venus conjuncting Neptune is saying like, okay, a lot of these has to be released. It has to be let go of because it created this illusion of separation, and we've never been separate. Nobody is more important than someone else, especially now stepping into the age of Aquarius fully with Pluto in Aquarius. It's all about equality. There is not going to be any hierarchical system by the time Pluto is done with Aquarius. Well, actually, maybe by that point still, yes, but by the time we come out of the age of Aquarius into the age of Capricorn, which, none of us will be here to experience it in this form, in next 2000 years. But anyway, this is what I mean. Like we are at the very beginning, very, very beginning on this brand new cycle, brand new era, brand new etape for humanity, right? And everything is changing, but we are being very blessed that despite the fact that everything is accelerating and happening so quickly, that 1.5 speed that everything is happening by, everything is happening gradually. So we can see, I keep repeating myself like a parrot, with every lunation it just adds additional layer, but the theme is the same. The story is not changing. The story of humanity is going through a massive reset, massive transformation. We are ending one era. Well, we already ended it, but we still have the after effects, right? Because the manifested form takes the longest, right? The manifested form, the manifestation of what you want, your desires, by the time you see it manifested in your reality, that's it. That's like completion. Like the physical takes the longest to manifest, right? So that's what I mean. So we're still dealing with the after effects of the Piscean age, but already we are interacting with the energy, right, with the frequency and the vibration and the energy of the Aquarian age. So we are in this in between, especially this year, because it's the year 9, which is the culmination. We have the nodes in the mutable signs, right? Jupiter is still in a mutable sign. So we have a lot of this mutable energy. So we are in this in between, and it is all this forward, backward moment. Of course, Mars is in Cancer at the moment backwards, going retrograde. Cancer is generally known for 1 step forward, 2 step back, or whatever, side stepping, right? It's not the direct momentum, because also Mars in Cancer, is so cold in his fall. So he needs to really connect with his emotion. To me, this is all BS. Mars in Cancer is just, it's just making you to focus on your inner world rather than outer world, which is necessary because it's this continuous in-breath and out-breath, the yin and yang. You cannot just keep going all the time forward. You would burn out. We cannot just be awake 24/7 for the rest of your life. You would die, right? So it's like these natural cycles, it's this natural way of existing, right? We just forgot. So anyway, let's just see what else I want to tap into here. So yeah, the North Node in Pisces. I already recorded a collaboration with Lada, but I'm going to address this in another collaboration where we can dive deeper. So and the Mercury sextile to Chiron. Yeah, because Chiron, Chiron is the wounded healer. Everything that's happening with Chiron this week, we have this Mars square to Chiron. Was it Mars square to Chiron? I'm pretty sure it was, right? Let me see, where do I have it written down? Mercury sextile to Chiron. Mars is trining Saturn. What did I see? Gosh, I'm going bonkers over here. Oh yeah, it is Mars square to Chiron on Monday. Okay, yeah, Mars square to Chiron, Mercury sextile to Chiron, Sun. What is Sun doing? Sun is doing something sextile to Chiron as well. Oh yeah, because we have the Mercury Sun conjunction in Gemini, Aquarius, but what decan is it? Libra decan balance in 21 degrees. Okay, so yeah, so everything that's happening with regards to Chiron, another planet, in this case Mercury, Sun and Mars, is happening on the degree of the eclipse. The eclipse we had last year, which was the first eclipse, in a new phase conjunction with the North Node and Aries on the North Node. Sun, Moon, and Chiron were all conjunct, right? In conjunction with the North Node, new phase, everyone, new phase. So this is very significant because that was the reset point. The reset point which, you know, the humanity decided on an unconscious level or whichever level, we going ahead. That's it. We ready. And then we were cultivating the strength to go for it, and now we're going for it. And in, you know, while we still dealing with the after effects of the past, the Piscean age, you know, this North Node in Pisces, it is teaching us to start trust ourselves, because Mars is in the sign of Cancer retrograde. So we know that the only way that we're going to be progressing forward and beyond anywhere we've been before is going to be through these new contracts, which are with yourself, you know, with your higher self, with your spirit, with the source directly. So it's no longer about going to someone else to tell me, oh, what is the purpose in my life? What is the meaning of my life? What does this mean, right? No, it is about us to learn to understand our own language and our own guidance, inner guidance, because with regards to the future and where we're going, again, you know, with all the craziness in the world and all the technology, AI being bombarded by information, and this is just going to accelerate because Uranus is going into, you know, Gemini. So, I mean, hello, you know, already Jupiter being in a sign of Gemini, we can see what happened in the past year, you know, since Jupiter was there in May. It's just craziness. And it's going to accelerate even further because with Uranus just breaks the pattern. It just goes like, well, everything you thought you knew, forget about it, you know, there is so much more. There is just like, you know, in a sense, like no definition, no boundaries, because definition is the Capricorn, boundary is the Capricorn. Uranus has no boundaries. It's like breaking the patterns. So that's what I mean. So when all of this is going to start kicking off, you know, the only way that you're going to be able to direct, you know, and navigate through it is through your inner compass. You know, just like I was saying before, we need to learn to master our thought and emotions, you know, be able, no matter what's going on outside of us, no matter what anybody else is doing, saying, thinking, what they, you know, how they perceive you, you know, what they think about you and whatever, you know, like we need to be able to bring ourselves to that 0 point, the point from which the new is created, because that is the only way that you're going to be able to create and experience the reality that you desire. And the way you know what it is, it's how things make you feel, you know. And if you don't know what it is, then you know what you don't want through the contrast. Everything is, that's why everything is perfect, everything is needed, because if it's not what you want, then through the experience of experiencing what you don't want, you are experiencing the contrast, and that helps you to seek something better, something more desirable, something more joyous, something more pleasurable. So everything is always happening with a purpose and meaning. It's just we don't always understand it. We don't always you know, like we don't always understand the meaning of it, and we're not always perceiving it in that way because of the duality, polarity we're playing with over here. But it doesn't make it void of meaning. It doesn't make it void of purpose. It just depends on us how we choose to identify it and interact with the energy. So with Mercury going through the sign of Aquarius, and Mercury was in a new phase conjunction with Pluto, just conjunct Pluto on the day of the new moon in Aquarius, and it was in a closing phase to the new moon in Aquarius. We have to go beyond. We have to go beyond the program. We have to rise beyond, rise above all that we know, all that we think we know, because the logical mind is the archive of the past, is limiting. It is not going to allow you to create a reality that is different from what was, because the ego tries to protect you. It tries to keep you feel safe and secure in a comfort zone, and that's why Uranus is in a sign of Taurus. Right? Is Uranus doing anything? Oh, we enter into the new week, Monday the 10th, we're going to be experiencing Mercury making a square to Uranus. So yeah, so this is what I'm tapping into here already, you know, that's the preparation for the full moon in Leo after that. So again, we can just see how everything is happening in the layers, you know, like is this continuation, evolution, like we have the spiral, you know, everything is just always evolving and becoming bigger and bigger, but the theme is the same, you know. Even when you listen to the channelers, you know, the bottom line is the same. Like this is where we see there is a lot of consistency. The bottom line is the same. What humanity humanity is going through, why, and how that's gonna play out, how that's gonna show up, and how that's gonna be experienced. It's unique to each individual, because we are being given the opportunity to clear all the previous karma, to break free from the karma that is connected to the past, and start from the 0 point, clear slate from the 2026, the year 0 and 1, the Fool and the Magician. And what that is going to be depends on you, right? Depends on you and how willing you are to let go of these old programs, of the old belief system. And in order to do that, we need to become aware of it. And this is why we have the flooding. This is why we have the North Node in Pisces, and especially with Neptune conjuncting the North Node, and Venus conjuncting Neptune and North Node, and Saturn 3 times, of course, like I said, there is a lot of stuff that's coming up. And a lot of this stuff is coming up through the relational dynamic, which is whether with people that are close to us in this immediate proximity, or whether through the happenings that are going on in the world, on the global scheme and stuff. So this is all just showing us the dynamics we as a humans been interacting with for all this time. And if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't make you feel good, then you outgrown it. We as a humanity, we as individuals, we moved past that point where this was something that we chose or would prefer. It's all about preference, right? The things we are experiencing, again, in individual and collective experience at the moment, is offering us the contrast and opportunity to decide, do we still want to experience life on this planet in this way, through this relational dynamic, because everything is relational. And again, that takes you back to your personal life, how you feel in your own personal relationships. And this takes us to the global scheme, which is like, when we observe everything that's going on out there in the world with the politics and everything, everything, how does it make us feel? And if it doesn't make us feel good, if we're not happy about what we're observing and experiencing, then we know that we need to we already grown out of that pattern on a soul level, on a spiritual level, and now we need to catch up with the manifestation, right? Like with the manifested form. So that creates the desire to create a different way. That creates a desire to create a different way of relating, a different leaderships, different whatever. So that's why everything is needed. That's why everything is actually desired by the source, because it continuously allows us to learn about what there is more to explore in this reality, right? And that is, to do with all this Jupiter station in direct, this expansion. So we've been, since, October when Jupiter stationed retrograde? Let me just remind myself, because I don't keep all the data in my head. Yeah, 9th of October, so week after the eclipse, exactly. So everything that we've been processing since the eclipses 2024, right? We had the Pisces full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse in Pisces, the first one in September, and then we had the new moon solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd, which was the final one in Libra until, the 2030 something. So in the after effects of that, Jupiter went retrograde, and then we had the opportunity to start digesting and start reevaluating and start recalling these stories and all these patterns, and like what's going on here, like Mercury, I believe at the time, was in Libra. So this is what I mean. Like everything in this reality is relational. We were born into this physical body as a spirit, incarnate, operating through this different levels of consciousness, the consciousness of us being still in a spirit form and also in a human form, and we are creating a relational dynamic with everything that we are observing. So now this week, with Jupiter station in direct and having all this interaction with Chiron, which is the wounding, is the key between Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus, therefore ruled by Venus. Venus is, moving now into the sign of Aries, but already had a conjunction with Saturn. Today she's having conjunction with Neptune as the ruler of Saturn, and the North Node, ruled by Neptune, ruled by Jupiter. Last year at this time, Venus was the ruler of Jupiter, because Jupiter was in the sign of Taurus. So everything is always just building up. And what is it building up? It is building up to us having a deeper understanding how far we've come, because with the South Node in the sign of Virgo, as I repeatedly keep saying, to me, Virgo is the human's journey, is the hero's journey, is the embodied experience, the felt embodied experience of the spirit walking on this earth as a human, right? right? So that is our anchor point. So with all this stuff that's going on this week, we literally, as the after effects of the new moon in Aquarius and the beginning of this year of the snake, which is all about shedding of the skin, you know, snake is still associated with Pluto, you know, because it's like the small version of a dragon and stuff. Actually, I don't know for a fact, but you know, it sounds to me that it's associated with Pluto, because it is, in a sense, a different version of metamorphosis, just like a butterfly, snake, right? Shedding of the old skin. But, you know, with the snake, it's still snake. Butterfly is a completely different animal from caterpillar. But either way, you know, like this is all in perfect resonance, how we see the energy of the new moon coming, the energy of the new lunar year. You know, this is all the fire of new fire, you know, the new ace of wands. You know, there is a new energy. It's here. It's going to create something new. And then in the after effects of this, we have this, you know, stuff happening, this conjunction to North Node, Venus moving into Aries, the, you know, like these aspects to Chiron is in Aries, again, new direction. Where are we wounding? You know, where are we afraid? You know, the Saturn is in Pisces, Neptune is in Pisces, Venus is conjuncting the Saturn, Neptune, North Node 3 times. Okay, we already had the first hit. So what do we need to let go of, because it's no longer in resonance with where we're going? And how do we know? Because it doesn't make us feel good. It makes us feel restricted, victimized. It makes us feel like children, that we have no choice, that there is someone else out there holding the authority over us. We don't have an agency. You know, whether that out there is even your religion, it doesn't matter what it is, but it's something external of you. And that's why Mars is pointing inwards. Mars is pointing into Cancer, and it's saying, well, and there's also the trine to Saturn, which we'll experience at the end of the week, the second one of the 3. And the final one will still take place when Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, right? 4-4, exactly. Because Saturn is not moving until May. So anyway, either way, it doesn't matter. This is all pointing us inwards to reparent ourselves, heal the inner child, and through the internal processing, through the, in a sense, shadow work, we can say, to decide based on how we feel, Cancer, how we feel, is this in resonance with where I want to go or not? Because if it doesn't feel good, again, and this is, you know, like all about the teachings of Abraham Hicks, you know, Joe Dispenza, quantum field, you know, and all the rest of it, a law of attraction. If it doesn't feel good, that means that you outgrown it. Us as a humanity outgrown it. You know, that which we are experiencing at the moment, few hundred years ago, that was perfectly acceptable. And actually, right here, right now, humanity, you know, as a collective, has more freedom than ever. You know, especially with all the tools that we have available to us, right? But we are still experiencing things that are after effects of Piscean age and hierarchical system Capricorn, and they don't feel good. They're no longer in resonance. Just go and speak to these Pluto Sagittarius, Pluto Capricorns. They don't want to have a boss. Most of them want to be entrepreneurs. They don't even want to work. You know, they just want to, you know, earn money doing what they love. They don't want to work, you know, and they don't want to, a lot of them don't even want to get married, you know, like there are all these things that are not in alignment for them. But they were perfectly fine for their grandparents, because humanity changed, humanity evolved, and this is the thing, you know, this is the Mars retrograde in Cancer, squaring this Chiron, right? And then trine in Saturn. This is literally what it is about. Yes, it served its purpose. Yes, it held a meaning. Yes, it created the structure and the safety and security for many, many, many hundreds of years, but it's no longer in alignment. So that's why for us to cling to some old stuff, you know, even with regards to philosophy of religion, and don't try to look at it through the lens of where you are right here, right now, 21st century, with everything that humanity has gone through since the point when this book was written or whatever, you know, this is not so helpful to us anymore, because it's limiting, because the time has changed, humanity has changed, everything grown, everything evolved. And if we try to live the life exactly the same way as our ancestors, you know, it is not going to be so fulfilling, because we are not who we were, where we play the role of our ancestors. Just the same way, when your grandparents come back as Pluto Aquarius is, they will be a very different expression, right? So that's what I mean. So this is how, you know, like with all of this stuff that's going on, and, you know, obviously we are in Aquarius season, but already things happening in Pisces, and we're already in the month of February as of today, and that is the bridge between Aquarius and Pisces. We are nearing the end of the astrological year. We already in the new Gregorian calendar year, we already entered the new lunar year, and we still have this astrological year to complete, and that will reset on equinox in March in the eclipse season, right bang in the middle of it. So there is a lot of culmination, and that's why I said, based on what I'm getting, with what I'm bringing through these first 3 months of the year, they are not really about making some huge crazy changes unless you're born with Mars retrograde natally, because there is a lot of re-evaluation, like which direction to go, who am I, what am I doing, because we're releasing ourselves from the contracts, from the old versions of ourselves and the roles we had to play in order to balance the karma scale, and also from the contracts to other people, right? Like this all is ending this year. It's all ending because next year is the reset point, the 0 and the 1. You're going to become a conscious creator of reality, embody the magician energy, and create, whatever you want to experience. And it all sounds good, completely crazy and la, but that's literally what this Aquarian age is, because otherwise it will be just replication of the past. There is no other way to create a different reality, different experience, and especially one that is in alignment with Aquarian age, which is completely breaking the pattern of everything that's been known until this point. So again, this entire weekend, we can talk about the aspects from million different, angles and like what exactly they mean and stuff, but the point is the same. It doesn't matter. All the planets are generating an energy that is supporting this process. How that's going to show up in your life is up to you. And, your navigational system is, how does it make me feel? Mars is in Cancer. How does it make me feel? Does it make me feel aligned or not? And then when the ego mind kicks in with all the stories and say like, hey, but this is the truth. This is what happened. Let me fill the gap for you. How does it make you feel? It doesn't matter what's truth. Unless it's a universal law, it's just a perception. It's just a lens that can change at any point, because when we change, everything else changes with it. So so this is just a pretty loaded week, not gonna lie, there's a lot of stuff happening, but with the Mercury Sun Kazemi on Sunday the 9th, this is perfect. Our way of thinking is reset, and Mercury is direct. So we're going ahead. Last time Mercury Sun conjuncted, Mercury was retrograde in Sag. And they had the mutual reception with Jupiter in opposition, right? They were opposing one another, mutual reception. So we're going ahead. We already had the new moon in Aquarius. We already in the new lunar year. We're in a snake, right? We had the dragon year to cultivate the strength in a year of strength. And now that's it. Now we have to shed skin and prepare for the reset for next year, right? So this is all perfect. So I'm going to end here because I've been talking for 52 minutes about the same thing in circles. And I want to pull some cards, but this is awesome. Whatever is happening, however it's showing up, the main point is it's unstoppable. The train already left. It's unstoppable, and that's exciting, because like when we really embrace, when we heal and release all this old stuff that doesn't resonate and serve, it doesn't mean that all of it doesn't. It's again a matter of discernment. What am I taking with me that is still in alignment with where I'm going, and who am I becoming, and what isn't, right? And when we really embody that true essence of who we are, or remember, because we already have it, of course, when we really remember and embody the understanding, understanding, the awareness, and start showing up for the contract, right? The new contract, like, okay, now we're going to just be co-creating with the spirit, and the guidance will be coming just from inside, right? The reality we'll be experiencing on this planet will be so different that it will be like unrecognizable, which is Aquarian. It's like a complete alien to us to think about it, like, oh, how can it be different? Look at the state of the world. Look at what's going on with the politics and everything. So so where we are right now, it feels like complete, like a science fiction, right? Like, how can we go from this to that? Like, it's utopia. But that's not what the planets are saying. That's not what the destiny is saying. It's 1144, 11 master number frequency, 11 and 44. We are creating a new foundation, and it is happening. It is happening. It's unstoppable. And this is exactly what's supposed to happen, because it's in alignment with everything else, with the evolution. So yeah, it's just, it is what it is. We can put whatever labels on it, but it is what it is, and it is happening. All right, let's see some cards. Let's see what the cards are saying. Let's get the Oracle of Seven energies first. Let's see what are the energies that we are playing with. Okay, Spirit, what are the energies of these after effects of Aquarius, New Moon, and beginning of the year of the Wood Snake, please? What are we playing with as a humanity at the moment? Nobody wants to come forward? Okay, there is a card. Great big love. 26, number 8. Look at that. The heart is getting open, the wings. We are giving wings to the true authentic expression of who we are, which is heart-centered. You are love. You came from love and you will return to love. 28, number 8. Number 8 is the strength card, which is again Leo. Leo is the heart, right? Leo is the authentic expression. And at the bottom is the great and full, the grateful. Be grateful for everything that's happening. Yeah, the 4, the foundation. The foundation of where we're going is to be grateful for everything. There's also the Neptune North Node conjunction. When we understand the meaning of everything that took place until this point, then we can raise above it. We can move away from it. Because when we are in resistance with what is, we will just keep attracting more of the same, because universe doesn't understand no. Right? Just like Abraham Hicks is saying, it's this, there is no exclusion, right? No exclusion. So the universe doesn't say, I don't want, everything is just affirmation. Everything is affirming. So when we're grateful for everything and we find a silver lining in every situation, not being Pollyanna, obviously we are experiencing what we're experiencing and we have to honor that. But when we can find something positive in every situation, it creates a foundation, number 4, foundation, and sense of safety, security, because at the end of the day, we always have a choice how we're going to be identifying and perceiving situation. That's the Cancer. That's how you're going to become the conscious creator. That's how you're going to become the authority in your life, because how anything makes you feel, you decide, right? We can say, oh, you made me feel this way. But in essence, nobody can make us feel anything, because the feelings are inside you, right? So yeah, grateful. Being grateful for everything that was. And when this is the fastest way to shift our frequency, no matter what we're experiencing, when we focus on what we do have to be grateful for, the frequency shifts very quickly. And then our heart has a wings, right, to express itself. So I'm going to read this one. The grateful already was before, but this one, great big love, and this is the age of Aquarius, the polarity Leo. And it's 1147, 1111, exactly. The Spirit is affirming. Okay, so 26, which chakra is it? The heart, I believe. 26, I believe, is the heart chakra. Yeah, love, heart chakra. Compassion, love, community, forgiveness, unconditional acceptance, inner peace, and wholeness. So the card 26, this one, right? The heart. Key concept, love without conditions. Romantic love and how that experience changes you. Deep and profound, harmonious connections, soulmates. Yeah, that's happening. A lot of people are coming together to co-create, the relationship technology. Love heals all wounds, begins all life. It sustains you when you are starving for grace, when you stumble and fall, and when you lose sight of your purpose and fall prey to the limited perspective of the ego. Now is the time to fall in love and call in the awareness of the great big love that made you, which is ever pulsing through your veins. There's a heightened sense of awareness in the beginning stages of a relationship where nothing else matters but who is in front of you. You see them, you see yourself in them, and you move in sync with the cadence of your hearts. You surrender to the magic you shared and engage in harmonious dance that is seamless in its movement, rising and falling with each movement, each breath. Although this card may portend such an intimate connection. You don't have to wait for a partner to experience it. You're being invited to explore love in all its beauty. Can you love without condition, without needing things to be perfect? Do you love your life, what you do, and how you contribute to the world? Today, invite love with a capital L into your inquiry. You will be amazed, and your very question may be changed as a result. Love is the strength you need today, and the lens you must look through and find the truth in your way. Love is the way, the only way, and the only answer. Yeah, there are so many downloads that were coming through. Let me just see what I can catch. Yeah, so I really feel, obviously, this, can have, you might be experiencing this in your personal life, in your personal experience, but with regards to the collective, because this is what we're focusing on, the collective reading. As I mentioned, Leo is in polarity point to Pluto in Aquarius, and also the Aquarian age polarity is the Leo, which is the heart, the childlike innocence, the unconditional love. The child doesn't judge it until it's installed with the program and the belief system, but babies love unconditionally everyone, right? So anyway, and this is also about the love towards yourself, with Venus being in Pisces, moving into Aries, is this new way of relating. But Venus rules Taurus too, even though between Taurus and Libra, we have an inconjunction. The two can't see each other, because the old way of perceiving was that if I need my needs, I'm selfish, and if I love, then I sacrifice, right? Like through the lens that, like, how can I have both? How can I have myself, and how can I have you too? And that's the Aries Libra, the balancing point. So again, this card, a great big love, and we look at it from the collective perspective. We have to start from ourselves, and we have to believe that this kind of interaction with the humanity is possible. And every time we experience the opposite, the contrast, that's the opportunity to ask why that is, and then we will see like what comes up with the stories, again, the belief systems, the old ways we identify situations, like why do we believe. And again, we don't have to, like, this is again when we have to use the discernment and use boundaries. Like, not everything is acceptable, so we can love unconditionally and without judgment, and I know that there are a lot of people who, for example, would say that I love my husband or my partner, but I can't be with him anymore because it causes me too much pain or something. If people are not in alignment, but it doesn't mean they stop loving each other. A lot of people that go through divorce, they still love each other, right? There is still love, but there's just no more resonance. There is just no more like a connection, right? Because it would be like I'm sacrificing myself for this connection, but actually everybody is in pain. So what I'm trying to say is that in the world there are and will continue to be things that are not our preference, that we don't necessarily want to experience, or people that we don't necessarily want in our life. But it doesn't mean that we have to judge it and disregard it just because I don't want it. It's not good for anyone, right? Because everybody is here to learn different lessons, and that's why everything is needed. That's why it's like it's not nobody's business to judge somebody else's path and what they might or might not have to go through. So again, the great big love to me in the like a greater scheme, like looking at it from the higher perspective, is that understanding that behind everything is love, even though the way we perceive it from our human lens of experience, it's a void of love. But we know that nothing else exists, just love, right? So if there is no love, if it seems that there is lack of love, that it's offering the contrast to awaken more love in that which is observing it, right? Because we need to balance. There is always a need for balance. So if something awful happens which we see that it's like lacking love, that there is a void of love in that experience, in that person or something, it creates an opportunity for more love to be generated within you to balance that energy, right? So this is what I mean. So if something is not what we want, it offers the contracts for us to become what we want. So so it all starts from within, right? It all starts from within, and then we become the magnet to that which we want to attract. To attract that which we want, we have to become it. So that is the law of attraction, which is always in operation. Okay, so and that is the heart chakra. There will be a lot of that, all this flooding, all this North Node in Pisces, and the Neptune in Pisces, and the Venus triple conjunction with all of these guys. This is to help us to reconnect with our emotion. Mars in Cancer, emotions, Mars squaring Chiron, ruled by Mars. Whilst Moon is always moving somewhere, right? And Moon is, we are ending the week with Moon in Cancer, right? In her rulership. I'm pretty sure I said that right. It was Moon in Cancer at the end of the week. I'm just like, seriously, there is just so much information that it's just hard to keep everything in mind at the same time. Yeah, Moon in Cancer, yes. Yeah, starting the week with Mars square Chiron with Moon in a sign of Aries, and ending the week with Moon in Cancer and Mars trying to Saturn. This is where we have to feel like understanding that the old way is no longer going to work, but feel into what is the new way for you. You know, because with the Aries, it's about you have to become your own leader, especially with the Saturn. Okay, quantum field. Let's go to quantum field, the quantum oracle. Let's see what Sandra and Taylor has in store for us. Because with Aquarius, it's all about the quantum field. So let's see. Okay, quantum field, what the quantum oracle has as an advice with regards to the post-Aquarius New Moon energy and the beginning of the year of the wood snake, please. Quantum field. Okay, let's see. Okay, again, relationship, professional assistance, people, that's number 7, and discovery, intention, number 8. You know, what are we discovering? What is the diamond? The diamond of discovery, the South Node in Virgo. What are we discovering? And yet the professional assistance. Okay, let's see about that. And at the bottom is present power. Yeah, taming the beast within, you know, being in charge. This kind of gives me a vibe of a chariot. What card is it? Number 2, consciousness. Yeah, being able to be in charge of your conscious and subconscious. You know, one is like in a shadow, one is lighter, one is darker. Yeah, the personal present power always lies in the ability to be in control of your conscious and unconscious, you know, the thought and the emotions, right? Yeah, but I'm curious about this. I know we had this card before, the people, the personal assistant, you know, the help is here to support us, and the discovery. Okay, let's see what these two cards have to say, because I'm not getting too much from looking at them. But yeah, let's see. People. Okay. People. Okay, professional assistant. So we start with this one. Upright, expert support. A man and woman are working together in library. These people are experts in their field and you can rely on them for their advice. The potential for great assistance is open to you now, so don't hesitate to pursue it. Look at your life and find the areas where professional help might be required. An accountant can assist you in business, a broker, blah, blah, blah. In the upright position, this card could also indicate a new direction in your career. You may be drawn to helping others in a professional capacity, whether it's business or law or party planning or coaching. If you've been thinking about becoming a professional assistant of some kind, now is a good time to start. And the affirmation, the wisdom of the world abounds. Great assistance brings the information and the solution I'm looking for. Okay, so what I'm tapping into here is that we, yeah, we are all preparing, like I said, we are in a boot camp here. We are all preparing to step into the roles we came here to play, to assist, to help one another in co-creation of the new earth. So again, so this is not to burn the karmic debts from the past that's ending this year, but we are preparing to step into this new position, which are it's like interdependent relationship. We're going to be helping and supporting one another from the self-empowered place, you know, like these people are like equal, you know, assisting each other. Like it's not like one is working for another, it's just like help is available. So yeah, so we first need to help ourselves. This is what I feel, what was the card at the bottom, the present power. You know, we have to master ourselves first, you know, like understand our shadow and the light to be able to be of assistance to someone else, to support them on their journey if they need support, in order to co-create this different way of relating, this different way of experiencing world, to create the different world. And let's see about this discovery. I have to go again to the beginning. This is a interesting deck. It's like in what is this? Intention. Okay, that's before. Yeah, because it's got a different way of how the cards goes. So I have to. Number 8. And it's interesting that is that number 7 and number 8, so it's a sequence, but it's a completely different areas of life. Okay, discovery here. Unexpected happy developments, upright, and yeah, all the cards were upright. A man is mining for gold. He has been planning and searching for quite some time, but despite his diligent work, he has not found the treasure he has lain before his reach until now. Get ready, a time of discovery is opening for you. New ideas and new energy will help to bring forth a goal you've been working on. Although there may be more painstaking work involved, this card is telling you that a positive resolution is at hand. Keep your eyes and your mind open, for you may actually stumble on an unexpected discovery or idea that brings great value to your life. Many options can lead you in exciting directions. You may be introduced to someone who resonates with your heart. A job may come your way, a job offer may come your way, or you may come across a book, video, or spiritual practice that is helpful in your daily life or business. This is a very auspicious time. New ideas, information, and exciting new connections are vibrating all around you. A gold mine of discovery awaits. An affirmation: wonderful new discoveries are waiting for me. I open myself to new ideas and great new results. So yeah, so building up on what I already said, like once we embrace who we are and embrace the dark and the light, right? Work with our shadow, like being conscious, being aware of who we are, and embrace all of it, which leads you to the power, you know, because that's like, if you are not in resistance of who you are, and it's like, in a sense, like all this ego mechanism, the protective mechanism, the way we are interacting with reality are based on, you know, the rejected of aspects of ourselves that needed to, you know, we needed to protect or needed to protect us, that are reacting certain ways. So when we embrace all of it, you know, there is no more charge, you know, there is no more, like, we don't have to keep attracting situation, people, circumstances to help us see what we don't want to see, what we don't want to heal. So when we do the healing, then we are in our full power, you know, like we embrace the light and the shadow of like what we embodied, because the I am is pure. Yeah, the I am is unconditional love, but while being in the physical body, we obviously, you know, through DNA and stuff, being passed on a lot of things and embodied a lot of things in order for this energy to be transmuted into something different. But when we embrace all of it, because it's not who we are, it's just something that we experience in the moment, that's when we are in our full power of 11111. And yeah, and then we can assist one another, you know, to create this new, you know, like to come into connections that will take us beyond what we've been looking for our own. It's like it's the Aquarian age, like coming together to co-create a new reality that is beyond what we could have just like imagined on our own. It's like coming together with this vision, with the right people, right connections, from the place of empowered state, where you don't have to change yourself to become something to suit someone else, because that is straight away restricted. Somebody else is the authority. But when we did the inner work, you know, which I feel this is exactly what this year is, because it's the new moon in Aquarius and the beginning of the lunar year, this is what we will be working on, to create the strong foundation in ourselves, embrace ourselves unconditionally, release all this old that made us feel victimized and stuck and disempowered, and to, like, through reconnection with ourselves, with our true essence, with the source, with the higher self, you know, the contract we have with ourselves, not just with one another, we then will be open to this guidance that will guide us, you know, navigate us towards what is our purpose, what is the meaning for me, what makes me feel happy, what makes me feel inspired, and that through that, and when more people do that, they will come together to help each other to create it, right? To stack the mine, like to strike the gold, to create this new experience, the golden age, the golden age, the golden age for humanity. But it will not happen if we come together through this old perspective or perception, this lens of the victimization, or like, okay, who can tell me what to do? You know, that is very hierarchical, it's very Capricornian, it's very Piscean. So yeah, this is perfect. You become this is like a kind of like a chariot emperor quality over here, and the number 2, right, the conscious and the unconscious. And yeah, and then together also your higher self and yourself, and also the connections you are creating in a physical form, you know, from the self-empowered place, to find something that you didn't even think was possible, to create the golden age for humanity. Yeah. All right. We're running out of time, so I won't be able to probably use all the decks. But yeah, I'm reaching for this one. I was going to use the Moonology messages, but I'm reaching for the portal, so I'm going to choose that one. Okay, the Oracle of Portals. Let's see what the Oracle of Portals want to say with regards to all of this. The Oracle of Portals. Okay. Oh, well, that's too many cards. Oracle of Portals, what is the guidance for the post-Aquarius New Moon and the beginning of the year of the Wood Snake? Okay, one card. Birth, perfect. We already had this card before, right? The birth, we are birthing a new earth, creating a beautiful new experience on this planet, right? And at the bottom, awake. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the number 9, right? That's fantastic. Number 18, number 9, the year we add, and this is the number 1. Which is part of the number 10, right? The Magician. Yeah, we are all being shaken awake, you know, like look at all that awakening, all the light that's streaming through. So yeah, this is what's coming through, you know, all the energy that's coming through to wake us up, to help us to step into the position, you know, of co-creation with one another through the place of strength, right? And through the place of heart to create the new earth. Yeah, to create the new earth. And look, even this golden age, we are being shaken away to the realization that this is the time you've been waiting for, and you are the one you've been waiting for to usher you into this new golden age of humanity. And it's all this white, the purity, right? The abundance. Look, the earth, the Gaia is abundant. It's abundant. We are birthing a new earth by becoming awake to the realization of who we really are and what we came here to do. I'm not even gonna read the description, they're just so profound, so perfect. Okay, and I'm going to use Psychic Tarot and pull a major arcana, and I'm gonna end with that. But yeah, the messages are pretty in alignment with everything else that's going through astrology and stuff. Okay, Psychic Tarot, is there any additional guidance with regards to the current energies? Aquarius New Moon and Snake. Firm foundation, yeah, we've seen this before. Number 4, Saturn, and we can see, yeah, the boot camp. There we go, the boot camp, so we can climb the mountain. Perfect. This is a 4 of Pentacles. We are investing in ourselves, in our health, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, so we can get to where we want to go, you know, even though understanding that there is not really a top of the mountain, there will be another mountain after that. But yeah, this is the base chakra, right? The base chakra, creating a strong foundation for the next year, for what is yet to come. Yeah, we are being awakened to create the new earth. And for that, we need the stamina, the resiliency. Also the number 4, you know, the Emperor, the leadership qualities, trust in yourself, understanding your worth, right? Sacral chakra, at the bottom, the joy, always follow your joy. Yeah, the creativity. Your joy will lead you to what you are meant to create. And at the bottom, the sacrifice, the Neptune, no more sacrifice. The Pisces age is ending. That's the number 3. You know, there's the North Node in Pisces. What we are sacrificing now is the old versions of ourselves. We are releasing ourselves from the old contract. Yeah, and this is like very Hawaiian theme, the Lemuria, you know, taking us back to this, you know, time in our ancient history where we were fully connected to spirit. And this is a card of Neptune, the Pisces, well, Neptune, 12, the Hangman, 12. Yeah, so this year, yes, it might take some time because there is a lot of healing involved with everything that's coming to the surface, but it's taking us exactly where we meant to go, you know, beyond Lemuria. Being reawakened again, the purity, the white, oh, perfect. And then and underneath that we have the truth, the judgment, yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God! And then underneath that was the 5 of Swords. Yeah, you are your own worst enemy. And underneath is the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm gonna end with that because I'll just pull the whole deck. Okay, so yeah, we're creating a strong foundation. The stronger foundation is going to be created by reconnecting to your sacral chakra, which is all about joy and creativity, right? And sacrificing the old way of being, you know, the Piscean age. What did we learn? We don't have to keep reliving the same. And yeah, so, and then we have the, how did I pull them? Yeah, the truth. That is the Judgment card. the call into action. Yeah, the clearing of the decks, because next year everything's gonna reset. The number 10, that's the next year, Wheel of Fortune. For that, we need to let go of this old way of thinking, the chaotic way of thinking, like we need at the whole cost. But what are we fighting for, right? What are we fighting for? This is Five of Swords. What are we fighting for? Is it worth it to be right? You know, the truth, is the truth worth it if it doesn't make you feel good? And then this is the Six of Pentacles, the material and spiritual prosperity, the balancing of the karma. Okay, let's do one more. Oh, perfect. The sun. And underneath all of that is sun, you know, being blessed. Number 19. So yeah, so this is quite cool. We have 8 cards, and out of that, 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas. That's a pretty good going. Half of the cards is major arcana. The Hangman, which is the Neptune. The Judgment, which is the Pluto card. The Destiny, which is the Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune is the Jupiter. And also, you know, the Pisces is traditional ruled by Jupiter. And the Light, number 19, is the rebirth. Rebirth of humanity. That's going to come from a stronger foundation that is based on joy. What gives you the sense of joy? And for that, we have to release the old. Yeah, perfect. And just final major arcana from the traditional tarot. Hierophant was at the bottom. Let's see what else we can have. Okay, final message, Spirit. And we close with that. Yeah, with all these other major arcana, let's see if any of them comes out again. Justice, number 11. Yeah, balancing of the karma. Number 11, the master number frequency. And the moon, yeah, balancing of the past. I'm pretty sure that this combination already came before. Moon card, that is the Pisces, right? That is the opposition of the Hermit. Number 18, the moon card, and number 11. Yeah, number 18, number 9. Yeah, this year is literally about balancing of the old karma, releasing ourselves, freeing ourselves, because we're creating a new foundation that is based on something completely different. It is no longer based on the concept of the Piscean age. So yeah, so this is the energy that's been ushered through with this new moon in Aquarius. New moon in Aquarius. The first one with Pluto in the Aquarius to stay. And the first new moon of 2025, the year of Hermit, that holds the star. What is the future? The future is based on what did you learn and what are you willing to release based on what did you learn, or do we need to keep repeating the same lessons? But because we are in an Aquarian age, it's not going to be the same for everyone. Some people will, some people won't. And that is up to us to decide which one is it for you, you know, individual. All right, guys, I'll leave it with that. I hope that there was something of a value in this video for you and it made sense. This was my first long video for YouTube since I was on my vacation, so do excuse me, I'm a little bit slow. And also, as I mentioned while I'm recording, this moon is in Pisces and there is all this activity in Pisces, so it's all very intangible over here. But I would like to close this space and give a thanks to my higher soul, spirit guides, ascended masters, starseed family, ancestors, all the beings of light, all the cards, and everybody that came through, Akashic record keepers, my astrological team, everybody that contributed to creation of this message. Thank you, everyone. Also, let's thanks to the Aquarius and the wood snake for this new energy. And I wish you all a wonderful week ahead. And I'll speak to you again soon. Much love, everyone, and bye for now.